Hello everybody, it's Philippe Barros here and a huge warm welcome to my channel. Today we're going to look at common mistakes in West Coast swing for leaders and followers and how to fix them. Let's go. So to help us now with this, I'm going to think of like two camps of types of mistakes that people make. And one is the visual sort of mistakes, you can see them. The other ones are like sensation feeling ones, which you have to be dancing with them to kind of sometimes to know this mistake that's being made. So we're looking to those two camps, and the very first camp we're going to look at is the third position. What is a third position? Wow. In ballet, or for the position is quite more turned out from the hips. In West Coast swing, it's more relaxed, and it's this position here as a leader or as a follower this way round. And because some people will finish in this position, or even other types of positions, but we're going to think about finishing one foot behind the other. And how I like to do my third position is the heel of the front foot can slot in to the arch of the back foot, or anywhere kind of around there, whether the feet are together or where there's a bit of a gap as well, as a leader or follower here. This is what I would recommend. There are other ways of doing it as well, but it's kind of around that vicinity. And the third position is great because it allows you to have a nice open position now. So the hips, the shoulders are open. Instead of being square and a bit more 2D, you can become a bit more 3D, like this, as a leader or as a follower here. Yeah. So it can also give you a bit more stretch as well, because if I'm here in the first position, I kind of have a bit of stretch, but not that much. But now the magic of putting the foot here, and now I have more room available to stretch away from my partner. Here I am as a follower, and here I am, woo, stretching away, creating that nice magic. And then we come forwards for our one. Yes. So, third position, don't forget to use that. Of course, you can bend and break the rules and not use it. There are other ways to stretch as well. But as a basic, as your foundation to go back to, that is very much recommended, third position. Leaders, if I'm doing, for example, sugar push, and I'm going for my basic normal anchor step, then I'm stepped forward on 4, and then afterwards I now stay in my third position here, like this. Followers, again, you're going forwards on your sugar push, 2, 3 and 4, and now I might stay on the spot here and then stretch backwards. Some followers might float a little bit backwards. It depends your technique you want to use and other factors as well. But we have that third position from about 5 onwards. We can have that third position. Enjoy using that. Now our second one is on arms, and sometimes we have some people have their arms really short like this. So if I'm leading, I have a really short arm like this. Of course, it might be used sometimes. Or as a follower, I might have my arm like this. Like this. And what I find that sometimes I don't have much connection with my partner. I can't feel that away energy as much, is what I mean by that, or the forward energy. So what I would recommend to fix this is if you stand with your arms to the side and then you raise them up. This is generally a good position as a leader here, or as a follower here. There's this little bend in the elbow, and then we both have this. So if I have my arm here, my follower has the arm here, it's got a nice little W shape. And by having a little bend in the elbow, it allows you to give a little bit more rope if you need to, but also it's like an elastic band. If we have two people putting elastic band, the longer it goes, the more energy you have, and then you release the follower, bing, and the follower will then come forwards. Well, I should probably release this way. So it gets released and the follower comes forward. If it's closer, you release them and not so much energy. So that's why it's nice to have that longer arm as well, to have a bit more energy to use, more elastic, have that West Coast swing smooth look. And so our third tip, as Tessa Cunningham Monroe would say, is to use mechanical advantage of your partner. That sounds very like, what is this? Are we robots using mechanical advantages? Aha. So what I mean by that is, if you're by yourself, this, of course, you can use a certain amount of energy coming forward as a follower, but if you use your partner and move away from them first, and then they create this movement in you, you actually can go faster. So why use all this energy going forwards on your own when you can use the stretch from your partner? Once again, it's like you're stretching away and then they release you and you're using that energy that's been built up instead of just finishing here 5 and 6 and then coming forwards on your own, why don't you stretch backwards, create the nice elastic moment with your partner, the away energy, and then be pinged forwards. Or you're in compression, giving them your energy, they're giving you energy, and then they change direction, and you use that to come backwards. Obviously, this is a whole video in itself, looking at how we create the away energy and forward energy. But this is just in a nutshell how you can do that. Some other tips for that as well is I'm in my third position, leaders, and then I'm moving towards the back of the back foot, maybe towards the front of the heel, for example. Some people go further than that. And as you do that, leaders, that's going to initiate the followers to do the same. They're going to also match that as well. But followers, don't do it by yourself. If the leader's initiating it, then you also follow them, and you follow them at the pace they're going backwards. So if the leader's going fast, you will also can match. You'll feel that, so you do that as well. If the leader's slowly building it up, then followers, you can also slowly build it up. And you have this wonderful gooey feeling each other's energy, like the body's moving away. And then followers, you're going to stay in this position, because some followers come forward too early, until you physically have to move, so the leader overpowers you. And now you come forwards as the leader is overpowering your energy away. So this is just very in a brief nutshell in how we can do this. Of course, you can work with me one-to-one or as a group, online or in person, and we can look into this more and more together. It will be my pleasure to help you. And another exercise we can think about is the puppy dog exercise. And this was Susan Kirkland, who I believe now is Susan Ball, married to Glenn Ball. Hello, you too. This is a great one that she taught me. So in London, where I'm from, there's a toy shop, and it's called Hamley's. I think it might still be the world's biggest toy store, but it was. And you have these dogs, you wind them up, you put them down on the ground, and they keep coming forwards like this. And they reach a wall, imagine there's a wall here, but they keep coming forwards. You pick them up, put them down, and then they keep coming forwards until they hit the wall like this. In a similar way, followers, once you have that energy initiated by the leader, you're going to keep going until you reach the end of the rope, the leader's rope. It could be their hand or the end of their arm here, or other positions as well. But you keep going with that away energy. And then you get redirected again. So, for example, I'm doing the legendary sugar push, and I'm being led forwards, but now I keep going forwards. I reach for example, they give me compression, but I stay there until they overpower me, and now I change direction. Now I'm going backwards. Now this is their hand here. I reach the end of the rope, but I still stay there because I haven't been overpowered yet, but I'm still giving my away energy. Tends to be for around here, giving my away energy. And then I come forwards once they overpower me. Also, what sometimes happens on the left side pass, for example, the leader's, obviously now I'm going forwards, the leader's here, and I keep going forwards like this. But of course, we want to do something called flashlighting. So imagine there's a light here on my chest and on my leader's chest. As I'm going past them, I'm going to turn and face my flashlight towards them. So now I'm still going this way, but I am facing them, I'm not ignoring them. And then I keep going, I've reached the end of their rope, but I'm still giving them that away energy until they release my hips as they release theirs, and then they overpower me. And I go into the next position, to the next direction. So very briefly, that's some things that I really hope can help you. I think that mindset shift can really help in your West Coast swing. Do let me know in the comments below if you found that helpful. Now, another common mistake I see is people not posting. What is posting? So, leaders, when we are leading a pattern, we want to let the follower know when they reach the end of the slot. Like related to the last exercise, how do they know where the end of the slot is? So we can post between 4 and 5, or any point of the dance, but I'm going to suggest as a basic, maybe around 4 and. So what that means is, you may be asking, what is that? So imagine I'm doing here a sugar push. I'm going to go under 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to start changing direction on and, so moving away from my partner. So now they can feel, that's the end of the rope. And we here go finish on 5 and 6. So we have this away energy from each other. As a follower, this was going to feel like this. Doing my sugar push under 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can feel now the end of the rope, so I know I can't go any further back. So I'm going to anchor, but I'm still feeling this away energy from my partner. We both feel each other going away from each other for 5 and 6. Nice. And then they're releasing my hips, and they're going to overpower me and go forwards for one of the next pattern. So that's with posting. There's loads of things you can do, because when you're connecting with your partner away from each other, like this. So here's a drill that Doug Silton gave me through his amazing online intensive. If we put our hands like this, imagine you have your normal 2 fingers in the middle as a leader and as a follower. Follower here, leader here. And then you're going to pull away from each other. This is kind of that feeling of the post. So let's do a left side pass. And I'm going, and a 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now I step on, we can feel each other going away from each other. Then we go 5, still feeling each other, and 6, still feeling each other. That's really nice. Some people might be doing a left side pass, as in 1, 2, 3 and 4. They feel nothing yet, and 6. Now they feel on 6, the partners feel each other on 6, which is another option as well. But I think it's quite nice to feel the partner earlier on. Because if I'm feeling them now on 4 and, now I can do things because we're away from each other. I might want to change direction of my partner or myself or both of us. So I might want to lead now to my partner, for example, to the right slightly. So I'll show you here actually, it'll be better. So we're here on 4 and going backwards, and I'm going to go 5 and 6, and now they're on this side, or 5 and 6, or even when I go 5 and 6 and change the slot. Ooh, do the parallel slot, any of the parallels. So that's the magic of some of the things you can do with posting. So the follower can influence the leader as well. If you're posted to each other, the follower can influence the leader. You might want to move both of each other over, and there's techniques for that, which will maybe for another video. You might want to move yourself across followers. So you're here, you're going, let's do now sugar push because we're facing the camera. We're going under 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now I might want to go 5 and 6. Usually if I'm going to the side of my leader or follower, I might only just go as far as the shoulder. So imagine this is where I am now, and my leader's shoulder's here. I just go as far as their shoulder. So the shoulder's here, for example. And that was a good tip from Doug as well. And now another mistake that I often see is posture. For example, you might see the person a little bit of a hunch here and looking down. And what I would suggest for most people is that you can raise the chest diagonally upwards and have the lats backwards. Of course, everyone has a different body, so check that's right for your body, because we don't want people also to be leaning back, and that's not so good for you as well. So I like also to put the lats, so shoulders up, side and then down, and then the chest very slightly up, and there you have a nice, and looking to your partner, nice straight spine. Doesn't have to be fixed though. There's always time for movement and a bit of flexibility in movement. It's not fixed. And the same for the leader as well. If we could be here dancing, or we could be more here dancing, which is much nicer, and it makes you feel better as well, here as well. So again, up, side and down, slightly up the chest, but relaxed as well, not stiff, and we're dancing like this. Good one for the posture. And another mistake I often find is sometimes I'm dancing with followers, they're super stiff. I can feel their center stiff, their arms are stiff. So obviously I would recommend you to relax those muscles. You can also have what Ben Morris called in a video, background body motion, where you have a bit of movement, relaxed arms, because we want to connect more from the back muscles. That can have a bit of energy in it. Maybe a bit of tone here, but a lot of energy there, and you have movement here, and it's more relaxed. If it's tense, I don't really have much to go on elastics wise, and it's nice when we're both more relaxed muscles connecting with our partner. And you might have a bit of movement depending on how the music makes you feel. That's another one. Wow, lots of things here. Another mistake I often see is the famous 6 into 1. So I often see this in leaders and followers. For followers, what I mean is you might be going your anchor step 5 and 6, and then 1, 2. There's not much stretch. And I recommend to fix this is I'm rolling from the ball to the heel and then moving my weight backwards. I like to peel this one off at the same time. Personally, that's how I like to do it. And then I roll off the back foot and I like to skim the front of the foot and step on it, and the whole thing is going forwards nice and slowly. Maybe you can think of this as the arc of momentum, where you have a shoe like this, and imagine, and you're stepping on the back, and then it comes forwards again, the same energy. That was a nice tip from Miguel de Souza. So I'm stepping on that curvy shoe, and then it wants to come forwards again with the same energy. So forwards, and the foot comes back and comes forwards. It's like a golf swing. Everyone has their own unique golf swing, but that's the way I like to do it with that. So have a practice there. And going forwards, you can go forwards ball first, you can go forwards heel first, or you can drag the ball into the heel, whatever you find is better. But I do recommend that whichever one you choose, both feet do the same. Obviously in certain moments, like on a sugar push, 1, 2, on 3, you tend to be the ball first, not the heel. So no matter which one you choose, that normally happens on 3 of the sugar push, the ball. So don't worry if you're doing heel, heel, and then suddenly you're doing this, you think, I'm doing it wrong. It's okay. It's very normal to do that. So yeah, for me, that's what makes West Coast Swing beautiful. It's that moment, the 6 into the 1. It's one of those key moments in West Coast Swing. So I like to see how each follower does it. Some might start with the foot slightly further out, some like to close it in and go. But what is not so good is like you've done your 5 and 6, and then you just step 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's not really much stretch, everything connecting together and coming forwards. Maybe you can think of an elastic, a string here connected to each other. As that comes back, it's connected here, and that brings that one forwards. Leaders, for you, it's a very similar thing. I'm going 5 and 6, and then I'm going to roll from the ball towards the heel. I'm going to try and go in a straight leg from a lot of the time. Of course, you can go in a bent one. It's okay, depending on the music you've got, like R&B and hip hop. But I'm going to go here, and then I like to pick up this knee coming forwards as that's coming backwards, to then step and roll and continue my movement. So if I do that with an anchor step for our 5 and 6 and 1, as I'm going backwards, 5 and 6 and 1, 2. So that's the 6 into the 1. Sometimes leaders might do 5 and 6 and 1, picking up the foot a lot, slamming it down flat, 5 and 6 and then 1. And I like to more like try and keep it along the ground like this. That's how I like to do it. Can you see the difference? Again, it's like that magical golf swing, which we do. Very nice. And now for our final common mistake that's seen is people stuck in patterns, and you don't really see them dancing to the music. They're just dancing the same thing. Doesn't matter what the music is, they're just doing patterns. And again, this will take another whole video in itself. All of these things can take a whole video in itself. So for me, I would say there is to connect to the music and then let the music affect some of your choices. For example, you might be hearing a song and it might have some nice little moments you want to mark on the 1, 2. So if I'm dancing as leader, I might go 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Or as a follower, I might go 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. But again, this is a whole video in itself. So I've included now the next video after this, which you will be seeing appearing on the end screen, is a musicality guide. So I do recommend you checking that one out to help you with those higher levels in dance in West Coast Swing. So I hope you found that very helpful. I'd love to hear your views on what you found most helpful, and if you had any of your own common mistakes and tips that you give as well. And it'd be great to grow this community with supportive people helping each other out. So you're very welcome to subscribe and click on the bell icon. That will help you get notified when videos are available. And I'm a West Coast Swing and solo dance teacher, and I've got influences in solo dance styles like commercial, hip hop, ballet, contemporary, house, dancehall, and more. And it's my joy to help and inspire people in dance. So if you're interested in working with me one-to-one, online or in person, or as a group, then you're very welcome to contact me. It'll be my joy to help you. And if you have any requests or videos you'd like to see, you're very welcome to send me a message or contact me and let me know. And so how did you find these tips? Were they helpful for you? You're very welcome to comment below and let me know which ones were most helpful for you, and also if you have any of your own tips as well. And check out this next video here to help you with higher levels in West Coast Swing, namely musicality.